Good morning, everyone. I'm Lyndsay Rose, and I am recording a couple hours at 9:45 a.m. Eastern at our apothecary here in Vermont. The eclipse, the lunar eclipse that just happened around 4:30 this morning Eastern. I think it was 4:29 exactly. Already happened. And I just wanted to pop on and do my monthly, very quickly, give an update on what's going on with the planets. And this lunar eclipse is a full moon, and it's happening in Gemini. The moon's in Gemini at, I believe, 8 degrees and something minutes, in between 8 and 9 degrees. So to figure out how it's going to affect you in your life, you've probably already felt it. Because we often feel eclipse effects a couple of weeks before the eclipse happens, and then at least a couple of weeks after, depending how far the north node is from the luminaries. So this one, it's further than normal, but I believe we'll still feel it. And because this is a lunar eclipse, we're going to feel it more emotionally and internally. And there's going to be something that will come up for you that will catapult you forward in life, because this is happening on the north node, not the south node. So it could be very powerful, strong feelings that you're having about whatever area of your life. And just know that there's nothing you could do to avoid it. It's eclipses are karmic, and they're destined, and they're meant to move us forward or to help us release things. Another way to look at eclipses in general is great beginnings and great endings. And this one happening in Gemini, we're already all feeling it. It's about processing information, speaking your mind, seeking truth. People with mutable signs, so Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, oh my goodness, Sagittarius, Pisces, hold on a second, Virgo, and Gemini, sorry. If you have anything in those houses, in between 3 and 13 degrees, you're not only are you going to get affected in your Gemini house, you're also going to get infected in those other areas. So take a look at your chart to see, again, how this is going to affect you. All of the planets, except for Uranus, are now going direct. We've spent a big chunk of this year with planets going in and out of retrograde. And so everything is starting to move forward now. Uranus will go direct in January. The big one is Neptune went direct this past weekend, and Neptune has been squaring the nodes of our destiny. So it's kind of that there's tension between what's real and what's not. and the whole north node in Gemini is also about what information is real and what information is not, because there's so many different views and different opinions. And I believe this eclipse season with Gemini and Sagittarius, there's going to be a lot of truth seeking and sifting through the riffraff. And what I think we all need to do is to really trust our own intuition, because the news, in my opinion, is not what it used to be. There's a lot of propaganda on all sides, and it's really hard to know what's real and what's not. So the only thing we can control in our lives is ourselves. And if we all do our own internal healing, I believe that's how the world's going to change, not by worrying about external events or living our lives through fear. Again, eclipses bring up so much stuff so that we deal with it. This eclipse is also resetting of our emotions and possibly clearing away any baggage. My brain isn't working this morning, so I apologize. A big aspect that's happening with this eclipse is Venus exactly opposing Uranus within a few degrees. And this is a huge need for freedom, for excitement, for something new, specifically with our relationships. you can imagine with like all the lockdowns and stuff, like relationships might be getting a little stale, and you know, trying to find creative ways to inject like excitement and newness into your relationships is really important, not just with your lover, like with good friends or business partners. That's what this transit is about. And also it could have a lot to do with money. So there may be an influx of money, or you may lose money. You know, Uranus is about revolution, quick change, things that you least expect happening, and Venus rules love and money. So those, and they're opposing each other. So it's an invitation for them to work together, and that can look different in different people's charts and different people's lives. And so Uranus is in Taurus at 7 degrees, a couple of degrees away from Black Moon Lilith, who is the divine radical feminine. And I love how close she is to Uranus, because I feel like there's no way deep change is not going to happen with her there. And yeah, they're opposing Venus in Scorpio, and Scorpio is about the deep depths, all the taboos that no one ever wants to talk about. So that's a big transit that's happening. The ruler of this lunar eclipse, it's a partial lunar eclipse, but it's still powerful, is Gemini. Or sorry, the ruler of this Gemini lunar eclipse is Mercury, and Mercury is currently in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is, you know, the high levels of Sagittarius is like truth seeking, you know, fairness, shooting for the stars, justice. The lower side of Sagittarius is being so opinionated that you think anyone that doesn't agree with your opinion is an idiot. That's a really good example. And that's where the South Node is collectively, and that's what we're letting go of. We are embracing the fact that we are all so different, all of us, and we do not have to be the same. We do not have to think the same things. We do not have to pray to the same gods, have the same beliefs. You know, there's so many things. We are not the same, and that's what makes us beautiful. The thing that we need to focus on is, does everyone have the right to believe what they want to believe? Does everyone have the right to make decisions they want to make? Do they have body autonomy? Like, these are the questions that we need to ask as we move the North Node in Gemini. And we let go of the past in Sagittarius with like too many opinions and judgments, and really not being able to handle that there's multiple truths. So another thing I wanted to mention is Saturn is at 29 degrees Capricorn, and he very shortly, in a couple weeks, will be leaving Capricorn for a very, 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 very long time. He spends about 2.5 to 3 years in every sign, and he's at the final degree. It's the critical degree, and it might bring up, you know, collectively and individually, like final Saturn stuff before in Capricorn, which is all about like patriarchal rules and structures and like suppression of freedom and like total implement of control. And like, it's like his last like rattle before he leaves Capricorn and goes into Aquarius, which is much more about collective freedom and community and futuristic inventions that help the good. There's also a downside to Aquarius, but I'm personally looking forward to Saturn moving on. But I mentioned that just because he is at that critical degree, you might be feeling some final Saturn things come up to deal with. I definitely am seeing it in the collective. And I'm looking forward to that not happening anymore. And the big thing that's happening is on the winter solstice on December 21st, Saturn and Jupiter are going to meet up at the first degree of Aquarius to start a whole new cycle. It's starting in the ushering of the age of Aquarius. It's going to be a whole new vibe. And it's going to start a whole new cycle of Saturn and Jupiter in the air signs, which is so different than them in the earth signs. So that's something to look forward to, and we'll talk about that in the next video. I hope you and yours are having a great day, and ride the wave of this eclipse. Again, it brings up really strong emotions. It's not permanent, but it's all happening for a reason to catapult us forward into the next phase of our lives. Take care. Bye.